My first involvement with the Movement for a Better World was at when I was in Barina Diocese at Kabuna Pastoral Centre. I was running the Pastoral Centre, and for the renewal of the diocese we had many events, assemblies, meetings, retreats, etc. In one of those times, one of our laymen said to me, "Father Roger, this is the first time I've ever been asked about my faith." That stays with me. I'll talk about that little story a little bit later. This is Mission Alive with Roger from the MSC Mission Office. When we began the Project for Renewal of Diocese, or we used to call it PRD, there was a lot of work to be done. We had meetings of the priests, of sisters, of lay ministers. We formed a team called the Diocesan Team of Pastoral Animation. This was, and I think in it there was a couple of us were priests, times one or two religious sisters, and mostly lay people, men and women. And we did a lot of work to animate this, to make it happen, to give life to this renewal. We did diocesan assemblies where we would have up to 100 people assembled for a week, even 2 weeks. And we would have, all-day programs. A lot of work to be done. At those assemblies, all the priests were required to be there. I think many of the sisters who were working in the diocese, and representatives of every parish, and all our diocesan secretaries, such as health, youth, education, and so forth. And these were really a lot of work, heavy work, but very exciting times, very exciting. We had training and workshops in regard to this renewal, and it meant writing many things about many matters. So in the middle of that, part of what we were doing was what we call a data collection. We collected a lot of information about the diocese, and there was a structured way of doing that. This was very important to get the information about the diocese so that we could proceed and examine it and make decisions and eventually come to our plan, the pastoral plan of the diocese. In this, as I said, one layman who was at one of these assemblies said to me, "Father Roger, this is the first time anyone has asked me about my faith." And that is really interesting. In that, he recognised that fact. And we were asking him about his faith. And he recognised that as important. Now that in itself is a step of renewal. When we ask people about our faith, it means they have to think about their faith. And they have to express something about their faith. Now that is already a step of renewal. And the fact that in a sense, the authorities, people in charge in the diocese were asking, it meant we were consulting people. And that's very, very important. We consult people and we listen to what they're saying. And that indicates that in this whole process we worked to include all, because every person, every baptized person in the diocese is part of the diocese, belongs to the diocese, helps to make up the nature of the diocese. So what they think about, what they believe, what they think about their faith, what they expect, what they want of the church is very important. One of the first steps, we ask a series of questions about dissatisfactions. What are they dissatisfied with in the church? What are they dissatisfied with about the priests and the lay ministers and the structures and how the diocese is run? And then from there we analyse all those answers and we can take another important step. But what are they dissatisfied about? We ask them and we listen to them, and it becomes part of the process. So that's what it is. We talk about a church of communion, it means participation. It means everybody is included and everybody participates in some way or another. We'll continue this discussion as we go along. Thank you for being with us on this mission of building a church for the future.